Hello and welcome to Realgam Tower, as we can now progress towards the true end of the game. So, basically what we did last time was challenge the Colosseum and won all the challenges. We also won the TM for Shadow Ball, which I immediately taught to Sneasel. And before I do anything else, I'm going to take the EXP share off Umbreon, put it on Meganium, and also put Espeon to the front of the party because we have some battles today. I mean, obviously we're playing Pokemon Colosseum, we've got battles all the time. So, let's see what these guys have to say before we go in. Hello, welcome to Realgam Tower. Today is our opening day. We've been expecting you. Now please, do go in. Okay, so, first things first, I'm going to head to the left because we have 4 main battles today, and 3 or 4 kind of secondary ones. But today, we start with our first rematch. Oh ho ho! You've kept me hanging around, Wes. You ruined things in Pyrite for us. But you know, we're not about to lose over and over to you. This time I'll win, and I mean it this time. Let the music play! Oh, never mind that. Real battle right away. So, we now have our first rematch with Mirror B. Now, every one of these, the 4 bosses are obviously the Cipher admins again. And they kind of, lowest level is 43, highest level is 50. So that kind of explains why I wanted to do all of the training. And also, realistically, all the training was for that, and for the bit that comes after this. So, Ludicolo and Loudred are his 2 leads. I'm going to Psychic for Ludicolo and Brick the Loudred. This might not wipe them both out, but we'll get a lot of damage on them both. Never mind, a huge crit comes through and takes out Ludicolo in 1. So, basically, because I did all of the grinding, these fights are going to be a lot more manageable than they would have been. Like, I think I maybe could have won them without all the training, but I'm glad that I sat and did all of it. Okay, so Brick lands, and... nearly. So close. Okay, it's going to knock it... never mind. I was going to say it's going to knock itself out, but apparently not. So what I can do is Psychic for Golduck and just Icy Wind to finish off the Loudred. Because realistically, that'll do a lot of damage. Okay, the Icy Wind won't knock out the... nope, it won't knock out the Golduck. I nearly said the Icy Wind won't knock out the Sneasel, but of course it won't. I'm using Sneasel's a Pokemon using it. Okay, so Loudred goes down, and that also gets a speed drop, but realistically that does not matter in the slightest. Okay, so what comes in next? Probably another Ludicolo. It is indeed another Ludicolo. And because I caught his... well, there goes Sneasel. Sneasel's wiped out here. Yep, that's quite effective, and yeah, I'll be totally honest, I did not see that coming. I probably should have. I really should have seen that coming. So now I guess I switch Meganium in, and Meganium should be safe for the rest of this fight. And while I'm here, I'll just Psychic... I'll Psychic into the Ludicolo and then Razor Leaf, and that probably takes out both. Okay, Ludicolo probably survives the turn, but Golduck definitely doesn't. Unless it misses, which is entirely possible. Wait, did that live? That lived on 1. That must be 1 HP. Either way, I know what his last Pokemon is, because normally he would have the Sudowoodo. But because we caught it, it is now replaced with an Armaldo. Also, I should note, if we hadn't caught the Sudowoodo, he wouldn't have this Armaldo, but the Sudowoodo would still be level 35. It wouldn't have leveled up alongside it, because since it's a Shadow Pokemon, it wouldn't be able to level up. So basically, you do get... the battles are slightly different if you do or don't catch a Shadow Pokemon. So I'm just going to blast the Armaldo with Psychic, there goes that. And, yeah, simple. And, well, Razor Leaf finishes off the Ludicolo, and that is this first battle complete without any real hassle. So, yeah, Mirror B is defeated. I think we do see him one more time, but that is in the post-game. I mean, we'll see all these bosses again, but in the post-game. Okay, so, I'm an awesome dancer, but I can't win in battles. I mean, hey, if you're battling most other people, you'd probably be fine. This just won't do, but I'll admit you've beaten me thoroughly. Okay, since I'm done, I'll give you this. Here. So now we have the red ID badge. Think that is a little gift from our great leader, Nazgul. Don't leave without it because you'll get nowhere. But, you know, maybe it'd be good... maybe it'd be for your own good if you didn't go on. And then he just Naruto runs away like a big hero. Okay, before I go and challenge this next opponent, I'm going to go heal because Sneasel got wiped out. And I kind of want my ice type ready for this next fight. And this may be the time for me to bust out the TMs, is what I would be saying if I wasn't confident. I feel like I can still handle it. Also, that is just a render of a Roselia. Okay, like that portrait is just a Roselia. Okay, so I don't know what this guy has, but I'm pretty sure he's a Cipher peon. So, you know what? Ampharos and Octillery, why not? I don't know what this guy has, but let's see. Oh, having trouble, are we? Perhaps you're lost in the expanse of this building. Yeah, sure. But I shall be happy to take you. Oh, where am I going to take you? Oh, well, since you ask, you deserve a reply. It's to your doom. It's like, buddy, you're going to have, like, 3 Pokemon. Okay, his name is Boppin, though. That's a solid name. Dustox and Grimer. And if he wasn't, like, at level 39, I would be maybe a bit concerned and irritated at the fact that I just switched Espeon away. Also, the fact that Octillery has a Psybeam, so I don't really even need to worry about it. Okay, Thunderbolt, bang, one shot. Okay, Dustox actually took that because that's good special defense. Okay. Well, Psybeam just blasts for Grimer, and that doesn't take the hit. Fantastic. So, buddy, what is your third and final Pokemon? You have a Cipher. Okay. Cipher is such a cool Pokemon. Sludge Bomb will hit for a decent chunk, I think. Hits for... Okay, you know what? Maybe I was a little bit over-exaggerating when I said I thought that would do some damage. But to be totally honest, I did think that would actually do way more than it did. Either way, Thunderbolt probably just blasts Cipher in one. 10 out of 10, there goes Cipher, Psybeam finishes off Dustox, and now I'm going to run it. And now I get to play a fun little game of I've walked about a grand total of 10 steps, time to go heal. Also, Meganium hit level 45, I think that was. So that is very good for me on my way to our next boss fight. My plan is I'm going to go through the 4 bosses today, then I'll probably clear through the next few rooms in the episode after. Then the episode after that is like the grand finale of the main story. That's currently my plan. Okay, so, also that guy just disappeared. Okay, so let's quickly patch up our Pokemon again before we head on into this next battle. So, I'm going to lead with Sneasel and Umbreon, I think. Because here's the thing, I know what these bosses have, but I don't know what they lead with. Like, I don't know if their leads are like slightly randomized, or if it goes off what your leads are. Either way, I think I should have a decent chance. I'm pretty confident in my ability to win here. Unless something goes horrendously wrong, which could happen. Also, this place is so weirdly designed. Your luck ran out when you showed up before me. Your stab adventure's gone on long enough. So, we now have our rematch with Dakim, who, credit to him, has a totally different team. However, his core strategy largely remains the same. Forretress and Claydol. Okay, so, basically, his new strategy is similarly, it's still Earthquake Protect, but he also has a couple of Pokemon that can make good benefit of, Levitate. So I'm just going to Bite and Shadow Ball and hopefully get rid of this Claydol in one turn. And because that was always just going to go for Protect. And now Shadow Ball lands for a very respectable chunk of damage, and Umbreon... Honestly, Umbreon with the black glasses might kill here. 10 out of 10. That is actually fantastic. That's a great opening turn. That's Claydol wiped off the field. So I don't need to worry about a Levitate or Earthquake user as much. And in comes Flygon. Man, Flygon is such a cool Pokemon. I wish it was, you know, just a bit better than it is. Okay, Icy Wind for the speed drop on the Flygon, so now everything should probably be able to outspeed it, I think. Actually, maybe not, because It may be -1, but realistically, Flygon is still pretty fast. Also, but I know that whatchamacallit, Sneasel has no special attack, and that was quite effective, but hey, that's something. Also, he loves to use Sunny Day in this second fight, because his Flygon carries Flamethrower, his Pokemon that replaces Entei carries Fire Blast, and I think 3 of his Pokemon all carry Solar Beam. So, yeah, this isn't going to be the best time to be whatchamacallit. It ain't going to be the best time to be Octillery in this fight if I can avoid it. Okay, so, Sunlight's still going strong. I'm just going to bite the Flygon, and Sneasel's probably going to get hit with a Flamethrower, so I can switch out to Octillery. I can afford to switch out to Octillery to kind of soak the Flamethrower damage. Then he'll probably switch and go for Solar Beam, so I can kind of pivot that into Meganium. And hopefully I can kind of keep whittling away at this Flygon as well. Realistically though, I should probably have just gone straight in. I probably should have just gone straight in on Espeon and just went for pure damage. Double Edge comes through with, honestly, kind of respectable damage. I mean, I think I disrespected Forestress's potential damage in the last episode, so maybe I should calm it down a little. Okay, so I'll Confuse Ray the Fortress, and I'll Aurora Beam the Flygon, because realistically, Flygon does not take a quad effective Aurora Beam from here. To be honest, I think it would probably, I don't know, I'd say like maybe 80-90% would kill it anyway. And there was the danger. There was the danger that I was aware of and didn't care about. To be totally honest, I was hoping that the -1 would have made a difference. Turns out it doesn't, but hey. Either way, Espeon can come on in, and now I'm also realizing that Return has gotten even weaker now, but hey, we should be okay. And Earthquake will do a decent chunk of damage to Espeon, I think. Umbreon just takes it like a champ because it's an Umbreon, and that did 48, so I can still take one. And now I can Secret Power the Fortress, and I'll just Psychic the Flygon. Realistically, that Flygon is getting wiped off the field here. To be honest, I probably should have seen that one coming, because realistic. Okay, if he's going for Protect, that tells me that Flygon clicked Earthquake. Not like it makes any difference, because that Flygon just got annihilated by Psychic. Okay, in comes his next Pokemon, which is a Whiscash, I believe. Which, once again, will also be an Earthquake user. What a surprise. So I'm going to Secret Power that was a mistake on my part. Now, I will Taunt the Fortress for next turn and set up Reflect. Fantastic. Okay, so we set up Reflect to make sure that all those Earthquakes will do less damage. And now that I've kind of taunted the Fortress, it can't use Protect for a few turns. Which pretty much just means, hey, if that Whiscash uses Earthquake, he is taking damage from it. Okay, so with the Reflective, I did 18 and 30 damage, so I think I'm in the clear here. And because Whiscash used Protect this turn, because Whiscash used Protect this turn, I'm pretty much in the clear. Just blast it with Psychic. Because Espeon will maybe not one-shot, but it'll be very close. Okay, it didn't one-shot, but it's close enough that Bite comes in to finish it off. And now he switches into his final Pokemon, which is the replacement for Entei, because since we caught the Entei the first time we fought him, he has a new Pokemon in the form of Houndoom. Man, Houndoom is such a cool Pokemon. I guess, very minor spoiler, we will get a chance to catch a Houndoom. Unfortunately, it is way too late in the game for me to realistically want to add it to the team, which is honestly a huge shame for me because I love Houndoom. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, and I honestly feel like a Flamethrower is coming, so I'll just switch to Ampharos. I'll switch to Ampharos, and realistically, I probably should just stayed in with Espeon and gone for Return, because Return would A, do decent damage, and B, Espeon's on no health, so I might as well have just left it and got a safe switch, as opposed to getting blasted with a Fire Blast for half my health. On the plus side, though, realistically, my move here is absolutely to try to take out this Houndoom. Because the Houndoom is a problem. And I may have to use a revive here, because I think I could feasibly lose to this Houndoom now. Because everything else that's left is on either low health or is weak to fire. But at the same time, I do still have Sneasel available. Okay, hopefully this Fortress didn't target into that second slot. Hopefully it targeted Umbreon. But it probably saw a kill, so maybe it didn't. It probably went for Espeon, didn't it? Yeah, it went for Espeon. Okay. Okay, this is not ideal for me, but I can pull through this. I can still pull through. So, it is time to switch to Sneasel, and I'm just going to double in. I'm going to double in on the Houndoom and hopefully get it off the field. Okay, so we Secret Power the Houndoom, and we Brick Break the Houndoom. He heals the Fortress. Bit weird, because he wasn't even low health. And that's nearly one-shot. Secret Power will kill from this range. Guaranteed. And Confusion. Do you want to hit yourself and knock yourself out? No. Do you want to miss? Thank you. Okay. So, there goes the Houndoom, and Dakim is down to just that Fortress, which means I am pretty much in the clear, because Fortress is not the most powerful Pokemon of all time. I mean, realistically, it's, yeah, of course it isn't. So let's go for Confuse Ray, so it can potentially hit itself, and then just, I suppose, Brick Break, and then I can just whittle away at this. Oh dear. Okay, so here's the good news, I'm not going to lose. The bad news, this could take a little while. Okay, so, oh, he just exploded? I guess, thanks for saving me time. I don't appreciate it, but at the same time, I very much appreciate it, so kind of 50-50 on thanks there, I guess. Okay, well, if nothing else, Meganium is getting a mountain of experience from this. I thought that would be way more than 568. Anyway, with that, Dakim is defeated and we can continue to move on. In all the time I've been battling, my only losses came at the hands of Master Naskur and you. Now take this, it's your passport to terror and despair. Okay, so we now have the green ID badge. If you're thinking of turning back, now's the time to do it. Go on home. And then he just kind of power walks away. Okay, so let's quickly go and heal before I go and do anything else. I mean, realistically, I passed the place where I would heal on my way there anyway, so we are now effectively halfway through this episode in terms of boss fights. But we do have a couple of little battles to do in the interim as well, so let's quickly go and heal before we do anything else. And we also have 2 or 3 shadow Pokemon to catch, I believe. So let's quickly heal and then move on. Okay, so I know that in this next room there's 2 trainers. Actually, no, wait, I think it's in the room after. Also, what a weird organization for this building. This, like, it's a cool concept, but it seems like it just wastes so much space. Like, why is there so many gaps between everywhere? Okay, so, do I want to fight ice types or grass types? And I know which is which. I'm going to fight the grass. No, I'm going to fight the ice type one. So this is this guy. Oh yeah? You're telling me you'll knock me out of the way? Yes, I will. You'll know right away if that's possible by battling me. Buddy, you have ice types in Generation 3. And I know what your shadow Pokemon is. You have a shadow Delibird. Like, buddy, I'm at the end of this game and you are throwing out a shadow Delibird. Like, the biggest threat you can be is just a minor inconvenience to my time. And by that I mean, does this Delibird want to stay in the ball? The answer is probably no, because I know my luck. So I'm just going to go for Bubble Beam and Brick Break, and I did that. And to be totally honest, I kind of just... I was thinking that, oh, of course, I'll be able to just knock out... Like, I was working on the logic of, oh, I'll knock out the Piloswine with Bubble Beam. Then the next Pokemon comes in and gets hit with Brick Break. And then I just completely forgot that, oh, yeah, right, Sneasel is super fast, of course it outspeeds Octillery. Okay, his other Pokemon is a Glalie. I'll be honest, Glalie is such a cool Pokemon. Like, I know it's not exactly anything fancy, but I think I do genuinely think it's a really cool Pokemon. Also, interesting how it's genuinely just like base 80 across the board. Like, every stat it has is base 80. I'm pretty sure that is different in its Mega Evolution, though. Okay, you know what? Maybe, outside chance, the game may have heard that I insulted Delibird, and apparently is now out for blood. And Meganium hits level 46. Fantastic. So, let's now throw... Oh, wait. Let's just throw an Ultra Ball and hopefully catch this Delibird, because honestly, I'd greatly appreciate it if it does not waste my time. I say that, it's going to waste my time. It's going to waste like 10 minutes of my time, I just know it. Okay, in you go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, Delibird, you asked for it. I'm not knocking it out, I'm catching this Delibird. I'm catching every Pokemon in this game. Like, I'm catching every single Shadow Pokemon. Will I take the time to purify all of them? Probably not, and if I do, it'll be off-screen, but still! Okay, this Delibird is going for maximum potential annoyance, I suppose. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is go and throw another Pokeball at it, and then I'll throw another ball at it, and then hopefully it should outspeed Ampharos, land, fly, and if Stack doesn't proc, I can land and Thunder Wave on it to get paralysis to make it easier to catch. But at the same time, I'm a little reluctant to actually hit a Delibird because I know it's made of paper. Oh, Fly missed. Fantastic. Now we land the Thunder Wave. So the T-Wave comes through, lands on the Delibird. Delibird is now our victim to paralysis. I'll hit it with a Bubble Beam just in case. I imagine it might be able to take a Bubble Beam. I really hope it can, because I don't want to have to restart this episode if I knock it out. And away we go. And to be totally fair to myself, aside from the many resets trying to catch that Entei, I haven't had to do that in this playthrough so far. Okay, Bubble Beam blasts that, and it lives. Barely, but it lives. It goes for Attract, okay. Okay, I guess it's giving the gift of love to my Pokemon, I suppose. So now okay, it's in the red, it's paralyzed, it should just stay in the ball. Like, basic logic dictates that that's how that should work, but it's Pokemon, so it probably won't. 2, 3, thank you for your business. Now, we can move on to this next fight right away, because I'm still pretty much in peak condition for my Pokemon here. I mean, I say that, Sneasel is definitely kind of beat up, but Sneasel should be okay. Okay, I'm gonna fight this lady before I move on, so Espeon can move out front, and so can Octillery. Although at the same time, I probably shouldn't use Octillery here. Are you looking to get past this door? Yes. I'm guessing there's a Daredevil in you. I mean, I know what your team is, and I'm not worried, because you have a Shadow Sunflora. Like, look, out of all the Pokemon that I feel like I'm going to be threatened by in the world, Sunflora is not one of them. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm going to just blast this Gloom. I'm going to blast this Gloom into next week with Psychic. And also just throw a ball and hopefully Sunflora will cooperate and just stay in. However, I know my luck, I'll probably find a way to miss the Psychic and get it hit with a Sunny Day Solar Beam combo or something. Because I feel like that would be my luck. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Sunflora, for your cooperation. Your check will be in the mail. Okay, so Psychic will obviously just annihilate this Gloom. It has no shot of surviving that. I mean, it could have feasibly... Actually, did Focus Sash exist in Gen 3? I know that other items did. I don't know if the Focus Sash specifically did, though. Either way, Psychic lands, blasts a Jump Laugh, and now, unless it manages to knock out Octillery, which it definitely isn't going to do with Sunny Day, we now are very much in the clear. Then I'm just going to quickly run back, heal, and then we can go fight this next boss. So I also had to fight both of these trainers to get access to the next two. However, this one, this lady I'm currently fighting leads to Venus. And actually, the guy who had the Delibird, he actually leads to another room that then connects to where... He's actually in a room that connects to a room that connects to where Ayn is. Either way, we are fighting Ayn last, because we're going back through these in the order that we initially fought them. Also, I like how you get the Realgam Tower music for all of, like, one room. And then it's just like, hey, guess what? Here's Cipher. Because it was very obvious that this place was a Cipher front all along. Okay, so in we go, and we can quickly patch up our Pokemon, and then we can just go into this battle, and honestly, this won't be a problem in the slightest. So, once again, we are going to switch Sneasel out front, and Meganium, I'm going to take the EXP share off that, and actually give that to Sneasel. Actually, no, I'll give that to... Honestly, No, I will give that to Sneasel. I'll give that to Sneasel because it is entirely possible that I could get some use out of that. Because I have some upcoming battles where I think Sneasel might genuinely be super helpful. Don't quote me on that, because now that I've said that, it's going to go horrendously wrong. Now that I've said that, Sneasel is just going to get absolutely bodied and dumpstered by everything that it comes across. But hey, we'll see how this goes, as we now head further north once again to battle Venus. Oh well, if it isn't that darling boy and girl, what kept you so long? I'm rather tired of waiting. Now say your goodbyes. This time I'm really going to be as serious can be. Okay, so, this time Venus's team is, well, a bit different. And she leads with Blossom and Raichu. Honestly, that's kind of a nice opening. That's kind of a nice opening gambit for her. Not gonna lie. However, Espeon will absolutely just blast whatever she has here. So I am going to actually target into the Raichu, because I think the Raichu is more of a threat. Mostly because I know that Raichu can learn Brick Break. So it is entirely possible, given what I've seen so far, that it could carry it to knock out Sneasel. So if I just double into the Raichu, I don't need to worry as much, although the Blossom will probably hit me with a Stun Spore or something now. However, if this goes for a Stun Spore, actually, it could feasibly go for a Sludge Bomb. No, of course it goes for Attract. Why would it not go for Attract? I'm fighting Venus. Okay, so now the plan is Psychic the Blossom, Shadow Ball the Mischievous, and I think we should be okay. I don't imagine I one-shot here, because Blossom has good special defense. Or at least I'm pretty sure it does. It's been a long time since I used a Blossom in a playthrough. I think I used one in... I think I actually used one in Omega Ruby not too long after it came out. Actually, I think I also used a Sandslash in that playthrough. In that playthrough, I had something like Sandslash, Walrein, Girafarig, Blossom. I don't remember what the other two Pokemon on that team were. But honestly, it was a kind of interesting team. I genuinely enjoyed using that team. It was a kind of fun one. Okay, so now I'm actually going to switch target. And hopefully Espeon breaks through. Thank you, Espeon. Okay, so this will blast the Blossom, knock that out. I believe she now goes out to Wigglytuff. I'm pretty sure she has a Wigglytuff that replaces her Delcatty this time. 10 out of 10, predicted that, so now I get a super effective Brick Break into it before I no doubt get killed by poison this turn. And then, okay, Cute Charm comes into effect and is a bit of an annoyance. Psychic lands onto Espeon, then does next to no damage. Sneasel actually lives the poison, so what I'm going to do is I'll Psychic the Mischievous and I'll switch Sneasel out to Ampharos, because I know that her final Pokemon is a Water type. Her final Pokemon will be a Milotic, which is replacing her Suicune. Because just like how Darkem had Entei, he replaced it with a Houndoom. Venus had Suicune, so she replaced it with another Water type. And when we get to him, Ayn will have replaced Raikou with another Electric type. Specifically, okay, that went for Flamethrower. Specifically, Ayn has replaced his one with a Sorry, he has replaced his Raikou with a Manectric. That's the combination of words I was looking for. Okay, so I'm going to go for Psychic and Thunderbolt. And I guess I'm just going to be hitting the Wigglytuff with 2 things this turn. Unless Espeon hits itself. Of course that happened. Why would it ever not happen? So I mean, to be fair, Venus's entire strategy always was to just kind of use status ailments on you. However, even if I lose Ampharos, I have Meganium, which obviously will be nowhere near as much of a damage issue. But I think I should be okay, especially if I manage to break out of Confusion here. Fantastic. So now Espeon snaps out of Confusion, knocks out the Wigglytuff with Psychic. The Milotic is coming into a Thunderbolt here. And, well, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you, but I will anyway. That, yeah, a Milotic isn't going to appreciate a Thunderbolt. And this is this is part of why I did all of that training. Because now I feel like I can, kind of fight these people on even footing. As opposed to, when I initially got up to this point where I was, barely touching level 40. Where I maybe could have won, but it would have required probably a lot more strategy. I mean, realistically, maybe I should have done it that way, because, strategy is kind of a fun and important thing sometimes. Psychic blasts Misdreavus, knocks that out in 1, and I think Milotic actually does outspeed Ampharos here, so that's a bit unfortunate for me. But hey, Ampharos hits level 47, and probably gets knocked out by this Surf, which would be just a very, very minor inconvenience for me, but hey, it happens. Okay, that's a crit, I guess Venus wanted to at least take one more Pokemon with her. I mean, I say that like it's a Nuzlocke, but it's not, and also realistically that's the only Pokemon she's dealt with on my team. So now I just go for a Psychic and, just go for Psychic and Razor Leaf, and this fight is over. So with that is Venus defeated, boss number 3 is down. Okay, Milotic, you don't need to be that extra about it. Okay, Sneasel hits level 48, very nice. So that is boss number 3 defeated, and Venus does not want to do this anymore. Well, good news for her, because she doesn't have any Pokemon left to fight me with. Me? Lose again? My pride will not stand for it. Here, take this thing away. For that, I want your silence, for this battle never happened. I shall forget that I ever battled with you. Yes, that's what I'll do. And I'm not going to try to do it. I'm not going to try the Ojo-sama laugh, but I imagine that's what she was going for there. Also, I'm going to quickly heal this with an antidote, because there is no way that I get there before Sneasel succumbs to the poison. And honestly, even if I could, I don't really want to risk it. So let's quickly go back, heal one more time, and then head on over to fight Ain. Does that rhyme? It might. I know time and rhyme obviously rhyme, because there's 2 characters in Scarlet and Violet. That's their entire deal. I think one is, I know one of them is a teacher or something at the school. I don't remember what they teach. Sorry, at the academy. And the other is a gym leader in, it's the little town, it's the city on Glaciado Mountain, but I forget the name of. I want to say it's Montenevera, but I might be wrong. All I really remember is they have ghost types, and they have a Grievard called DJ Rave. That's all I remember about them, really. That, and they have a double battle as their gym fight. And obviously this is where we need to put in all of these keys. Also, okay, never mind. Never mind, I was going to say a stupid thing. I was going to say it looked like there was, like, the ones on the right had the kind of, cores of the Pokeball, but the ones on the left didn't. Also, please disregard the fact that I just ran into that wall for, 5 seconds straight. Okay, so, now we got our final rematch with a boss against Ain, and I am going to lead, Meganium Espeon, I think. Why this? I don't know, to be honest. Well, so, you've come, hand in hand like a happy couple on an endless stroll. Well, let me inform you, this is no picnic. You will never defeat me with such a frivolous mind. Okay, Ain, whatever you say, buddy. Realistically, Ain's strategy is now slightly different. leading with Manectric and Pelipper. And here's the thing, this is kind of perfect for me, actually, because I know exactly what his strategy is here. Because normally, if I'd led with Ampharos, if I had Ampharos out, I'd probably, you know, click Thunderbolt on Pelipper. But here's the thing, he has Lightning Rod. He has 2 Pokemon on his team that have Lightning Rod, and Manectric immediately gets annihilated. Manectric is his replacement for Raikou, by the way. So there goes that, and what is coming in to replace it? It is his Rhydon. And obviously Rhydon is not going to appreciate a quad-effective Razor Leaf to the face. It probably... never mind. I was going to say it probably doesn't kill, but with a crit it does. So Pelipper also takes a little chunk of damage. But hey, that is two of his 5 Pokemon dealt with in one turn. And now Crobat comes in. Realistically, if the Manectric didn't take... actually, never mind. I was going to say, if Manectric didn't take a hit, whatchamacallit won't. But realistically, at the same time, Crobat is bulkier than a Manectric is, but honestly, it's not going to make any difference. Protect might make a little bit of a difference. And by that I mean it will save it for a grand total of 1 turn. Although, ultimately, there is no real reason for him using Protect here, because, honestly, he would probably have just been better off trying to attack. I mean, credit to him, he did waste a little bit of my time. Like, if that Pelipper had hit the mother of all crits and knocked out Espeon, then I would have 1-8'd. I would have heralded that Protect as a genius play. But it isn't, and Psychic is going to knock this Crobat right out of the sky. Okay, there goes Crobat. Also, fun fact, as far as I can recall, only Crobat you see in this game. In the main story, at least. I think there's probably at least one person with 1 augment battle. Okay, so now in comes Starmie, and Razor Leaf just does a ton of damage to it. Okay, a crit, nearly knocked it out in 1. And now, I feel like I can... yeah, I feel like I can now just kind of Psychic... I could Psychic or even just Psybeam the Pelipper Razor Leaf again, and then I should be okay. So yeah, this fight with Ain has taken no time at all. We absolutely annihilated him. But hey, I guess we wouldn't beat him with such a frivolous mind, I guess. But realistically, perhaps the true frivolity there was him thinking that I would... maybe the truly frivolous thing was him thinking I wasn't serious. Okay, Hydro Pump comes through and does probably a lot. Okay, yeah. Credit where it's due, that is a Hydro Pump into rain. That was always going to do a ton of damage. And while I'm here, I will send Sneasel out. Sneasel can come in and secure this final kill. It definitely won't get enough EXP to get level 49 from this, but hey. And Razor Leaf probably just finishes it off. There we go, this battle is over. And with that, we now have all 4 ID cards. Okay, Sneasel is very close to that level up, though. Okay. Has he improved since our last meeting? Yes, that's what I took several episodes for. It's a shame that you oppose us, Wes. Here, use this. Go on, open the door with it. So now we have the yellow ID badge. What waits beyond that door? Why, you should see with your own eyes. And with that, he leaves, never to be seen again until post-game. And now, we get a little email, which I will check on my way back. And when I say on my way back, I mean on my way out of this place, because I'm going to do this next fight first. I'm going to do this next fight first, and then I'll respond to that email at the end of the episode. Espeon's knocked out, but I should be okay with just Ampharos and Octillery for this next fight. So I think I'm not too worried about this. So, let's just go across all of these. So, yellow ID badge, there goes lock number 1. Blue ID badge, there goes lock number 2. Green ID badge for lock number 3. And finally, the red ID badge for lock number 4. I will say, I do think these look really cool. Now, that unlocks that, and this guy jumps down to challenge us. Whoa, stop right there. I can't very well let you any further. So, Cipher Pion Dioge, he has a Shadow Heracross for me to catch. which I'm going to have to blast my way through a Masquerain or an Ariados to get to, when I know that he has a Shadow Heracross. Again, if Heracross was available earlier in the game, it would be on the team 100%, but it's so late in the game that I don't really want to use it. Because ultimately it's, like, I know that I'd catch it at level 45, so it wouldn't be too far off, but it would still just be a bit of an annoyance to use. Because realistically, at this point in the game, your team is kind of solidified, and I think there is, after this guy, I think there's maybe like 10 or 12 fights before credits roll, so ultimately by the time you got it all purified and everything, it would ultimately kind of just not really be worth the time, which is a shame because Heracross is such a good Pokemon. I love Heracross. I mean, realistically, I think anyone who's ever played and used one can agree, yeah, Heracross kind of rules, especially in later gens. Like, in Gen 4, Gen 5, Heracross is so good to have. So I'm just going to land Thunder Wave on it, and this is actually maybe a terrible idea, because I think Heracross gets Guts. But at the same time, it's entirely possible that it's a Swarm Heracross. I don't know what its ability is. Either way, we got the Paralysis out, and it didn't move this turn, so now I get to just start throwing Pokeballs at it and hoping it stays in the ball. So what I'm going to do is throw a netball at it, because I believe this is the final... bug or water type that I get. So I think we should be safe to use these now. Okay, let's get this bug in the net and see how it works. 1. Okay, broke out at 1. I mean, credit to it, it is on full health, so let's kind of whittle it down just a little bit. Bubble Beam lands for... about 25%. Goes for Brick Break. I don't need to worry about a close combat coming out, because that move doesn't exist yet. That move doesn't exist until Generation 4. But I will go for an Aurora Beam. I'll go for an Aurora Beam, partially just for the damage, because it'll be a little bit weaker than the Bubble Beam. And also, I could, outside chance, get the attack drop. But it's back in the ball. 1. Breaks out at 1 again. Okay. Now, how much will Aurora Beam hit for? Also, I'm just less worried if Aurora Beam... Like, I feel like Aurora Beam, if it critted, would do less than if, whatchamacallit did. And there goes Ampharos. Ampharos gets knocked out. So now, this... Actually, never mind. I was going to say this could be a problem because I have 2 dark types at the back, but realistically that's not an issue. That isn't really an issue for me because Meganium is pretty much totally safe because I don't think this thing has any flying or bug moves. And it can't have Poison Jab because it doesn't exist yet. It can't have X Scissor. Actually, I don't think Heracross learns X Scissor, period. It's not a high enough level to have Mega Horn or anything. So I think I'm in the clear for now. However, if it doesn't, if I don't catch it with this next ball, if I don't catch it this turn, I'll just speed up until I eventually do, because this could take a little while. Because realistically, yeah, it's a Heracross. Heracross can be a bit tough to catch. Also, fun fact, because this is Generation 3, this is before, because this is in Generation 3, this is before the difference between male and female Heracross is made noticeable. So in this one, it still has the kind of spiked horn, as opposed to how, because, okay, let me use words. Allow me to use words properly. So unlike in Generation 4 onwards, where the female Heracross has kind of more of like the spade or the shovel one, in this one it's the spikes, the more spiky one. Okay, so, now that I've finished that ramble, I will just speed up until I eventually catch this thing. So I will be right back. Okay, 10 out of 10, we finally caught that Heracross. Delightful. Okay, so. Nobody said a word about you being this tough. I mean, buddy, if I beat all 4 admins, you probably should have known. Like, if I beat all 4 admins, I feel like that's something that should have been expected, you know? Anyway, I'm not going to go ahead because I'm going to go back, save, heal, and end off today's episode. But because I have something I need to do. And it does pertain to that email that we received, so I'm going to quickly run, heal, save, and end off today's episode here before I go and deal with that next time as we proceed towards the end of the game. Okay, so, quickly patching up all my Pokemon, and I might as well just start wrapping up the episode here. So, as always, feel free to leave a comment or click any of the buttons down below if you feel so inclined, as we continue Pokemon Colosseum next time in what should be the penultimate episode of the main story. Okay, thanks for watching. Later.